There are places that are so dangerous that just stepping on them puts your life in critical danger. For instance, have you ever envisioned visiting a place where the temperature can reach 90 degrees Celsius? Well, yes, and believe it, there are other places as dangerous as this one. Alright, stick with me until the end of the video and let's go to the first location on this list. There's a place in Bolivia that's been nicknamed the Road of Death due to the fact it has claimed many lives. The road links the administrative capital of La Paz with Lower Yungas and the Amazon rainforest. It has many treacherous features attached to it, starting with excessive fog, cliffs dropping 600 meters at the edge of the road, landslides and waterfalls making the navigation outright dangerous and frankly terrifying. The place was deemed one of the most perilous places to visit in the world. Experiencing extreme weather tests the level of endurance, and that's why many people visit the small village of Oymyakon in Russia. Although it's permanently inhabited, only around 500 people dare to live there. What makes this village dangerous is the fact that it's the coldest inhabited place on the planet. In this location, almost no crops can grow, so the lack of food availability is a problem, and it's generally not safe to be outdoors for periods of time due to the high risk of hypothermia and death. In 1924, the temperature dropped to -71 degrees Celsius, which in itself is a record that no other place on Earth has ever recorded. Although Oymyakon is the coldest place on the planet, Death Valley is one of the warmest. Situated in California and Nevada, Death Valley National Park is a land of extreme heat, and the valley's name is well deserved, as some hikers have lost their lives due to the extreme conditions in the past. The concentrated sun energy here is deadly and completely uncomfortable, despite more than 1 million visitors visiting the park every year to see the Bermuda Basin. A place that looks like it came from a post-apocalyptic movie is the Skeleton Coast in Namibia. This 500-kilometer stretch on the African country's coastline is marked by massive dunes, thick fog, and strong winds. The name comes from the numerous whale and seal skeletons that pile up in the sands, a consequence of the predatory hunting that happened in the past. But it's not just the animal remains that give the place a sinister feel. The coast is also filled with shipwrecks of ships that have got stuck on rocks or been swallowed by the sands. It is estimated that over 1,000 vessels have been lost in this region over the centuries, and the detail is that some of these ships still hold treasures. Have you ever imagined a place where ships and planes disappear without a trace? This is the infamous Bermuda Triangle, an area of 3.9 million square kilometers in the Atlantic Ocean between the Puerto Rico forest and Bermuda. The Bermuda Triangle became famous for being the stage of countless accidents and mysteries that have ignited the imagination of many people. The mystery that envelops the site began in the 19th century, where later an article by Vicente Guedes described a triangular region that obliterated hundreds of ships and planes without a trace. Since then, many ships and planes have mysteriously vanished in this location, leaving no trace of a ship or plane wreckage. Some believe that the location is inhabited by extraterrestrials or even by the legendary lost city of Atlantis. Others attempt to explain the phenomena based on scientific principles, referring to the air currents, methane gas, or the magnetic declination of the region. Despite many explanations having been put forth over the years, the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle remains unsolved. Although a recent scientific discovery asserts that the area isn't as dangerous as previously thought, linking most disappearances to storm activity in the region or unsafe vehicle condition. Getting close to the lava that oozes in bright orange explosions from the barren landscape of black rocks of an active volcano is a thrill. That's for sure. There are boat trips and guided lava walks that specialize in just that. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park is, in fact, a World Heritage Site and is home to Mount Kilauea, which hasn't stopped erupting since 1983. Hawaii is famous for its beautiful beaches, a rich culture, and impressive volcanoes. But visiting these sleeping giants can be a dangerous experience, especially if you don't respect the safety rules. Some tourists venture too close to the edges of the craters or tireless mines, even at the risk of falling, burning themselves, or even inhaling toxic fumes. Others are also exposed to sudden eruptions, earthquakes, or landslides. Pripyat used to be a normal Russian city, now Ukrainian. There wasn't much to attract visitors to the city, and the surrounding areas were little known. However, that would all change in 1986 when an accident occurred that shocked the world. That accident was the explosion of Reactor 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, which caused the largest civilian nuclear catastrophe on the planet, releasing an enormous amount of radiation into the atmosphere. The disaster was so great that the authorities had to evacuate the entire population of Pripyat and all nearby towns, creating a 30-kilometer exclusion zone around the plant. From that moment on, Pripyat became a ghost town. The buildings, streets, parks, and residents' personal belongings are still there, but covered in dust and vegetation. Radiation is still an invisible hazard, which can cause serious illnesses and even death. Do you like hot water? There's nothing better than taking a warm bath in winter, is there? But the waters of the boiling lake are not for a warm bath, because the waters are hot enough to burn a human being. Located in Mornitroy's Piton National Park, this lake truly lives up to its name, as temperatures hover around 90 degrees Celsius. But I'm just talking about the edge of that lake. To give you an idea, the water in the center of this lake is always boiling, and scientists have not found a way to measure the core temperature. Death would come more quickly. If you were in the Mariana Trench, the deepest place in the ocean, your body would be covered by an immense weight, causing the pressure on you to reach absurd levels. With all that pressure, your lungs would instantly collapse, and without oxygen, your brain would be unconscious in 15 seconds and you would lose your life in 90 seconds. The Mariana Trench is pitch black and freezing cold. But extreme pressure is the real killer. Would you dare? All these places are just the tip of the iceberg. There are many other very dangerous places that you should be careful of if you want to visit one day. Thank you very much for sticking around until the end.